Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm starting a little bit early. It's Monday. You guys, we almost lost the channel over the weekend, and I'll explain all that in a second as soon as I can confirm that we're live. I know that people make their assumptions about this channel, but we are all on the verge of losing our voice. And so all of the misconceptions and things that people accuse this channel of go out the window when you are on the verge of losing the channel. And I would hope that people would understand and see that. We just get so many naysayers out here on YouTube. And I think a lot of it stems out of jealousy because we found a way around the algorithms. And please keep that in mind when you see the amount of pressure that we're under. So let me explain to you what happened. Okay, so got this notification. I was actually premiering a video yesterday. Actually, yeah, it was yesterday. We were premiering a video yesterday, and it was on a headlines. It was the headlines video. And all of a sudden, I got this notification. As I'm in the chat with you guys, I got a notification that I got a strike on a different video. It's actually the video that we're going to cover today in today's show. And I'll tell you why in a second, because it was then appealed. But look at the time on this, 8:59 a.m., 1 minute before our headlines video went public. Now, that headline video I've taken down because it had some stuff in it that could have caught us a third strike and would have wiped out the channel. That's up on Odyssey right now. If you want to see that headlines video, there's some very important developments that have happened in the headlines that you need to see. So go check that out on Odyssey. And you can just find it under Enterthestars, all one word, spelled just like it sounds. So then something weird happened. So basically, as I was in the chat with you guys, I was typing up an appeal. Because they give you a chance to appeal it. You have to type it all up. So then we won the appeal. Let me show you that. I just want you to know I didn't take this video down. It actually caught a strike, which was our second strike. The first strike was supposed to be removed like this Thursday. So then we would have had a clean channel. So usually these strikes come in threes. They try to get you 1, 2, 3 punch. And so look at this. Within 38 minutes, actually, probably just a few minutes after I finally got the appeal sent, because it took me a while to type it up because I had to like figure out what I was going to say because I knew there was nothing wrong on the video. Well, in my eyes, there was nothing wrong, but they can stretch and do whatever they want, right? So before this appeal got approved, as you can see here, we've reached a decision and we have reinstated your video. Everything's fine, right? Well, before that happened, I actually took down like 15 of our recent videos, and I took those down to protect the channel. Some of those videos I removed, which again are on Odyssey, so they're not gone forever, were parts 1 and 2 of the 100 decodes that we did of the show, the 100. So that's what happened over the weekend. We're back to one strike, which will be gone by Thursday. Then we'll have a clean channel. We're still going to be careful, but that is what went down. There's something in this series that they don't want us talking about. But the trailer made it past the algos with an appeal, and it's safe. So that's what we're going to cover today. And I'm still not sure exactly what tripped the algorithms. It may have been the reference to a crenodrome, and so we might skip past some of those parts. Or maybe it was the Ouchi clip from 1992, in which he talks about not wanting to mandate things because you don't want to do that, he said. You'll hear it in his own words in a minute. I don't know what tripped the algos, but if today's show catches a strike, whoever at YouTube is reviewing the appeal, understand that we were reviewing the same exact trailer that won the appeal, and that we're only going to be expanding on the concepts that were already in it that were already approved by YouTube. We're not making any medical claims about stickers or any claims about a crenodrome or anything else. The only thing that we're showing is on their website that expired EpiPens degrade into synthetic acrinodrome. It says it on their own website. That's all we're going to do. The rest of the video, we're just going to be critiquing a TV series. So now that you guys have shown up, let's go ahead and get started. So, as we had already covered in parts 1 and 2, there are these people called the Sky People. And later, they're renamed Sky Crew. They fall from the Ark, which is a space station, but they find these elite vampires that they've taken over this mountain where the Sky People, or the people from the Ark, the space station, were supposed to go to get supplies. They realize that these people are living in this mountain like vampires. They cannot be exposed to the sunlight. They die immediately. And they are actually basically vampirizing the survivors down on Earth around them, taking their blood because they have adjusted to the solar radiation. And they use their blood to heal themselves. So, the Sky People form a pact with the Grounders, or the Tree Crew. The Grounders are called the Tree Crew. So you have Sky Crew and Tree Crew. Now we know that trees are portals, or we know that spiritual trees are portals. Let me say it that way. And that probably spiritual portals look a lot like trees. I guess we're going to have to wait to find out. But everything that we've seen in the symbolism, even biblical symbolism, all points to the fact that portals probably look like trees. Like tree trunks, like you're going from the roots of the tree trunk to the branches. So you have Sky Crew and Tree Crew. Now we see also the metaphor of trees in our own reality, that they are portals to the sky, aren't they not? You have animals using these trees, like squirrels climbing up the tree to get access to the sky. So the concept isn't very foreign. So let's keep going with this. So the Sky People and the Grounders form an alliance because they want to invade Mount Weather to get all their people back, because they've been kidnapped and they're draining their blood to stay alive. And so basically they find out that now the elite inside the mountain are now trying to go into the bone marrow, which causes the person who they harvest it from to die. And they are going after the bone marrow of the Sky Crew because their blood is a little bit better than the Grounders' blood, which takes many treatments and doesn't do as good of a job. And they find out that if they go into the Sky People's bone marrow, that they can actually come out permanently from inside the mountain and live on the ground. So this is some dark stuff, you guys. And I'm getting to the point, I got to be real careful what I present to you because I don't want to repeat some of this dark stuff, but you need to understand how this ties into the Bible. This is very, very, very important. And so I will cover the parts that tie into the Bible because I believe that a lot of what we're seeing in the series The 100 is happening right now. Now, I'm not sure exactly what got me in trouble in this video, so I'm just going to pull it up here. And maybe you guys can find it. So let us know in the chat what you think was the catalyst for why this got taken down at first. So I opened, this is the trailer right here. I opened it with Ouchi's remarks from 1992 in reference to, we're going to call it hearing aids. I hope you know what I'm talking about. Hearing aids. Okay. Now, listen to his words here.
We are essentially against mandatory testing. The easiest way to drive people away is to make something mandatory with the hidden agenda of there being something punitive about it.
With the hidden agenda of there being something punitive about it. What's happening right now? Well, there is something punitive about a lot of the mandates. Now, he was talking specifically about testing mandates, but he then made a general statement that if there's something punitive about a mandate that he is not for that. But now look at the state of things. There is a lot of punitive things going on with mandates, are there not? You're not allowed to take part in the freedoms that everyone takes part in. You could lose your job. You could be kicked out of college. Your insurance premiums can go up. So apparently there's been an about face from earlier comments that he has made about mandating anything. Now, the clips that you're going to see next from the series, The 100, are pulled from season 2, which aired at the beginning of 2015. Yet you're going to hear and see things that seem to have not happened yet, that seem to be possibly happening right now. Like, for instance, you're going to hear this guy right here say, "Lock her up." Well, that wasn't spoken until a year and a half later. That slogan, that term, "lock her up," wasn't spoken until a year and a half after this episode aired. But yet here you see it and hear it being spoken by the president of the underground elite. Listen.
Lock her up. Watch me. Lock her up. Watch me. Lock her up.
Now, who is he saying to lock up? Well, this guy, this president guy, he's a moderate. So even though they're using the grounder's blood to cure their disease, he doesn't want to take it a step further and start using the sky people's blood to permanently cure their disease. But this woman is like a radical medical person, and she wants to do whatever it takes to save the people and get them up on the ground. Again, these are just critiques of the show. I'm not talking about anything going on right now. These are critiques of the show, right? In the show, this woman wants to do whatever it takes to basically bleed out these teens so that they can get a permanent solution for her underground people to be able to walk on the surface of the earth and not be stuck in a cave like a vampire. So this more moderate president, even though he's still bad because he still takes the blood of the grounders, right? And a lot of them end up dying too. He doesn't want to go after these teens, but she does. So he says, lock her up. She's like a mad scientist. Now, what else do we have here? Let's go on to this next part, because what you're going to hear next is this doctor make a statement that I'm going to show you clips of were repeated by both Bo Mama and Ouchi. Watch.
There are dead ends and blind alleys on the path to every breakthrough.
Now, one of the comments, which you're going to hear right here, was current. This happened just a few months ago. Listen.
In other words, you become a dead end to the virus. And when there are a lot of dead ends around, the virus is not going to go anywhere.
Basic research, by definition, will sometimes lead us down blind alleys.
So that is Bo Mama, of course. And I'm not saying his name to make fun of him. I'm using a different name because apparently you can't talk about past presidents on YouTube. So he says the same thing. Now, apparently these terms are common. These are common terms, dead ends and blind alleys, in the world of, I guess you call it science. All right. But it's interesting, the timing. Now, how did I find this? Well, the Holy Spirit told me that I had heard this before. And sure enough, Ouchi said it, and Bo Mama said it. Now, you're also going to hear Ouchi say the same words that Bo Mama did, but back in the 90s, which is how I found the clip about the mandates. He said it back in the 90s about hearing aids.
There are dead ends and blind alleys.
That vaccinated people become, quote, dead ends for COVID-19.
There are dead ends and blind alleys on the path to every breakthrough.
So here's a 1992 paper, March 17th, and these were his words saying the same exact thing that the woman said in the episode and Bo Mama said. Okay? Now, what does this mean? Well, you have to decide that. I can't tell you what I think it means. All I can do is show you the synchronicities here on YouTube.
You call that a blind alley?
Of course not. I call that sacrifice. Sacrifice for the greater good.
What would happen to the donors?
There's 382 of us. That's...
So you just heard what she said. I don't know what that means, but that was in the episode. And now, so how many people are in this mountain? You just heard her say 382. So once again, Holy Spirit told me to go type in Google 382 with respects to CV19 and see if there was any connections. And of course, there was.
Roughly 8 procedures for each of the kids.
There are 382 people inside this mountain. If any of them realize you're not one of us, you're dead.
So what is Delta 382? Well, it's a moderate variant of CV19. Again, 5 years before it would happen, and I don't know what this means. It could be a synchronicity, it could be a coincidence, YouTube, but you guys have to decide what you think it means. Okay? Now, in this next scene, this girl you're going to see has to revive her friend who's been slated for harvest. She grabs an EPI pen, which, according to their own package insert,
There's 382 of us that
degrades into something, and I'm going to show that to you next. So that's an EPI pen. It says it right there. She jabs it into his thigh to wake him up. Now, I can't make any opinions about what I think this means, but this is from the website EPI Pen. So, YouTube, I'm reading from the package insert. It says that the epinephrine solution deteriorates in sunlight. It turns pink from oxidation to acrinodrome and brown from the formation of melanin. So you get a pink and a brown color. Let's keep watching. Now, let's get into the soccer ball. Because the soccer ball, you're probably wondering, what are you talking about, Casey? Well, the soccer ball are these Easter eggs that we found in many films dealing with fear and harvest, is all we can say. And you'll start to see these soccer balls too. They're very out of place. They don't fit the context of the scene. And now you'll see them and you'll know to look for them. What is the soccer ball? Well, look at this scene, for instance. They're in the middle of a mess hall, a cafeteria. But watch, you're going to see a soccer ball. See it right there. Some children are playing with it. Remember, pink and brown. Watch this. This man is brown. There goes the pink dress in front of him and the soccer ball. Now, why do I say this? Well, there is a pattern on the soccer ball that matches what an acrinodrome molecule looks like. What it is it's a pentagon over a hexagon. They look exactly like the pattern on a soccer ball. Well, Casey, this is just a chance thing. That's not what the soccer ball means. Just because this brown guy and she's walking in front with a pink dress, that means absolutely nothing. Well, watch, because the soccer ball makes its appearance 2 more times in this single episode. There it is again. Completely different scene. And here it is a third time. A completely different scene. And you see the children are holding the soccer ball. Remember, melanin and pink. Brown and pink. Can't make this up. Now, I've been looking for and seeing if there's any XIX. What is XIX? It's Roman numerals 19. Again, I can't make any assumptions about what that might mean, but there's a number there in Roman numerals in the pattern. So, the president of the underground elite, the old guy I just showed you, he betrays his radical son, and they put him in confinement. And look on the wall behind him. There is a painting. Who is this? This is Kronos. Let me pull that up for you. It's called Saturn Devouring His Son. Here's the painting here. And it's Kronos as well, who eats his own children, which is exactly what the guy does, the president does in the episode. He basically, his son dies, they all die, but his son is devoured because of the choices that his son made. There's some PHALLIC references here as well. Apparently it's in the picture here, according to this Wikipedia article, but it's been obscured when it was translated from a wall painting into the physical painting. They said that it was somehow obscured, and I'll let you read that for yourself. But this goes back to everything we've been talking about, you guys. Kronos, Saturn, Satan. Let's keep going with this.
Hey, Helios.
Now, this character, his name is Lincoln, this guy right here, and he has a horse who's brown and white, and his name is Helios. Now, I believe this is the white horse of Revelation 6:2. Abaddon, or Apollyon. He carries a toxon, which is the Greek word for a bow, and also the origination of the word toxin. He also carries a corona, or a crown, in Revelation 6:2. And I can't tell you what I think that means either, but you guys are smart people.
Este Osaga. Hey, Helios. Este Osaga.
I'm tired of being a human pincushion.
So one of the boys says, I'm tired of being a human pincushion. Now, we've been having some discussions about Pinhead from Hellraiser, have we not? I don't even know how we got on the topic, other than, to me, Pinhead looks a lot like a CV19 protein. Does he not? Here's Pinhead on the right and the protein on the left. Now, here's where things get creepy. Because the guy who plays Pinhead, or played Pinhead, is this man. And he is 66 years old. Now, you're going to see this number 66 come up again in the series. In fact, the pill that the people take in the series that basically turns them into an AI has 2 hexagons, one hexagon inside the other one, which is 66. And of course, we've talked about the number 66 in Apollyon, the 66th floor penthouse with the Apollyon painting in it from a prior president, and what all that meant. Apollyon brings the sickness and he brings the cure, according to ancient texts. Now, this guy will turn 67 in a few days, but don't you think it's odd, the timing of us finding this? Unbelievable. Wow, he'll be 66 in, is that 6 more days? No, 8 more days. Now, here's where things get really creepy. Because there is a plot line to the comic book Hellraiser. And there's a Casey character whom Pinhead was assigned to. And his main goal was to help discover a cure for hearing aids. There's also a W to the H to the O component to this comic story. I'm just going to read this from Hellraiser Wikipedia, the comic book from 1991, and we're also going to read 1992. You can't make this stuff up, you guys. What's going on here? I have no idea. This is some kind of spiritual level. They even talk about Vacacines here as well, as I'm going to read in a second here. This is dark evil. I don't know if this is some kind of time dilation, mockery of our efforts to expose the evil. I don't know what this is. But always remember, time works different on the other side. So things that we think from our timeline as occurring in the past could have already happened on a spiritual level in the future. This is weird, you guys. I got chills when I found this weekend. Let me go back in here before we read this, because this is crazy. Then we'll finish up this trailer. Whew, take a deep breath here. You guys with me? Okay. Now, I'll put links to all this in the comment here. Let's begin reading. Pinhead alongside Butterball. Now, understand that I'm going to be replacing certain words so we don't get in trouble, okay? Pinhead alongside Butterball, Chatterer, and the female Cenobite all greeted one of the best actresses of our time, Janice Bauer, when she opened the gateway to hell. She had dreamed about Pinhead beforehand while creating The Shape of Pain. Pinhead informed her that everything she was about to experience was real. The 4 Cenobites tortured her, and a director named Sigourney put the footage of her tea in this latest film. The teeing, I'm saying that word differently, you could see it there on your screen, managed to motivate her, and she became very successful. She was last seen wearing a lament configuration necklace, showing that she was still under the influence of hell. Now, obviously, I didn't follow this whole storyline, so there's going to be aspects of this that you're not going to recognize, and I'm not going to be able to explain to you. But let's keep going with the plot here. When the time configuration commenced, remember, we've been talking all about time, you guys. Pinhead was residing in the lowest pit of hell. He was the 5th and last Cenobite to be called to arms by Flagellum. He knew Leviathan's frame of mind and therefore was labeled the favored one. He was assigned to a woman known as Dr. Casey, and there's her last name, Gadelli. I don't know what that is. His main goal was to help her discover a cure for hearing aids. Also to make sure she didn't release a deadlier disease. When a doctor in the same institute as Casey, named Morris, solved the limit configuration, I don't even know what the limit configuration is, Pinhead arrived in his office where he quickly removed Morris's skin and sent him to hell. Pinhead then wore his skin, agreed to have dinner with Casey, his subject from the time configuration. Pinhead prioritized Casey's research so that other doctors, such as Bernard, were marginalized. As Dillard, he had that with Casey. He revealed himself to Bernard after he quit his job and made a deal with him. Pinhead then gave Bernard hearing aids so that Bernard could show Casey the human side of the disease. That what Bernard didn't know is that he already had hearing aids and that he was cheated out of the deal. Let's go to 1992, where it gets even more specific. Still posing as Morris, he accompanied associate of the W to the H to the O. This is chilling. Her name was Lori. To the W to the H to the O conference, when Lori removed Casey's paper, Pinhead took her out by dropping weights on her. Now, remember this whole weightlifting aspect and bodybuilders that we just figured this out like last week. Because remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger lost his contract with a bodybuilding corporation or whatever because of his comments that were anti-freedom. And then we also had arrests at the crapit hole of a bodybuilder. There was a weird bodybuilding meme, and this is how I even knew to look into Hellraiser and found all this. Because one of you was like, hey, Casey, there's a bodybuilder scene in Hellraiser. It's one of the Cenobites. They look like a bodybuilder. Well, here it is right here. Now, he then took her skin, leaving behind Morris, which he had been wearing for about a year. So basically, Pinhead goes in and out of people's skin, apparently. I don't know what that means. It means something. Afterward, Pinhead removed Lori's skin and left it at Roger's suite, thereby framing Roger for Lori's death. Then as Morris, once again, Pinhead encouraged Casey to continue with her work, even without the W to the H to the O backing her. Still as Morris, Pinhead and Casey argue on whether or not to actually use the sticker, the Ouchi. And when conflicted, Casey uses Bernard as a test subject. When he heals rapidly, they replace another hearing aid sticker for hers, which is then mass produced and shipped out. Again, I'm just reading a comic book from 1992. The plot from a Wikipedia article. Bernard dies shortly afterward as an effect of the sticker, as you can see on your screen here. And Pinhead arrives just in time to watch him scream. Now, I might look up this comic because there may be a lot more to this in the visual imagery of the comic. Now, I don't recommend at this point of these kinds of decodes for you guys to dig deeper into this, because I have spiritual armor on to withstand the enemy. Believe that our job here on this channel is to expose this darkness in high places, principalities. But not everybody has this armor. We've been on a long journey, and our armor has been strengthened over the years. So, be careful with this. I'm probably going to look up this comic. If I find anything in the visual imagery, we'll be doing another show on this. Let's move on from this. Because here, you're going to hear Bo Jiven talk about a hole in the chest. And I believe this is how demons possess people. It's a serpent in the chest. We've talked all about this. Now he's talking about it in a different context. He's talking about it in the context of what happened in Afghanistan. But I believe that this is how demons achieve time travel, or at least living through several lifetimes. They possess people. They keep hopping bodies. This is all in the Bible.
You get this feeling like you're being sucked into a black hole in the middle of your chest. You get this feeling like you're being sucked into a black hole in the middle of your chest.
So you have one last chance. Let our people go and we'll let you live.
So obviously, that was the quote of Yahweh in the Old Testament when he told the Pharaoh, "Let my people go." Lots of references, biblical references, in this series called The 100. So tomorrow we're going to be back reading between the headlines. California is on the verge of trying to pass a law to mandate owies to adults for certain activities, including hotels. So how are you supposed to go to a hotel and stay in California if this were to become law? The person who is writing this bill or this legislation at this point, his last name is Pan. And he is the one who really wrote a lot of the legislation in California to mandate other ouchies or owies or stickers to children before they could come to school. So the odds that he will include the current sticker as part of the regiment that children will get is very high. Now, on Wednesday, we got more episodes of The 100. They reveal an artificial intelligence, and it's an implant, and it causes people to lose their natural affection. It causes them to forget the people they love. And as we continue to go down this road, I'm noticing a characteristic, a personality characteristic, that when all of the promises that were made continue to be broken, instead of turning around and looking at the people that made the promises, the people that got it are starting to blame us, the people that didn't get the joke. And that's what I have for you guys today. These are trying times, but stay the course. Draw strength from the Most High. Remember the promise of his Son that he sent. Never give up. We also have another show that I've scheduled already. Malachi, the last prophet. Now, some other channels had already covered this, but Malachi means Malak in Hebrew, and it means the messenger. He was the last prophet, and when Jesus came to earth, he referenced Malachi and said, as it was written, I am the messenger. In the New Testament, the Greek word for messenger is angelos, and the word messenger is translated as an angel as well, many places in the Bible. So we have the messenger, the true angel, the true messenger, of love and hope and healing. And we probably have something that is a false messenger, but I can't tell you what that is. True messengers and false messengers. I love all of you. So we'll be back tomorrow. I hope. I appreciate everyone that has helped support this channel. You guys know that even though I have links on this channel, that I don't sit there and badger you guys or ask you for help. Because we're okay for now. But understand the enemy's out there. And he wants to take us down. He wants to discourage us from talking about any of this. So I appreciate those of you that have stood up and have helped to shore up the channel so that we'll always have a voice. You guys, if this channel goes down, we got another channel. We have a backup channel. We have a backup to the backup. But understand, they want to defund us. They want it to make it so that even the voices of truth will have to go out and make the tough decision to get a sticker. Because that's what's happening right now in America. Right? That's what's happening in America. We don't need donations. It's only for people that are able. It's the same exact content. The only reason why we have our link for that is because people have asked for it. Everyone else, just the fact that you're here is all that matters. Okay? And understand that the enemy wants to make that an issue because he wants everyone to go out and be faced with this tough choice and no more voices to be heard. That's what he wants, because this is a game of attrition for him. He wants to force all of us into the beast system. He wants everyone to sell out. And the more people he has on his side, the less people will be speaking out because they will go along with it. That's what's happening. And if you were to shine the mirror right back at these billion-dollar mega corporations and compare that to the little bit of help that channels like this get, then you would begin to open your eyes and see what the enemy is pointing the finger in the wrong direction. These anchors making double six figures and into the millions to spread lies. And all the lies that they spread to get billions and millions of dollars in donations in their pockets behind lies. Then all of a sudden, it wouldn't be so hard on some of these YouTube channels. But again, this all is up to you guys. This is a matter of the heart. This is a matter of where your heart is. If you want to believe the lie and believe the criticism, then you're siding with the enemy because that's what he wants you to do so that the voices are silenced. But if you want to believe the truth, then you'll see things for what they are. And that is the daily sacrifice that we've made over the last 9 years to stay on here and try to expose the enemy. And ultimately, I would like to believe that the Most High has inspired this channel and that lives have been saved because of the information through the sacrifice of his son, but also through the information that you've received to make the right choices in your life. And that is priceless. All the glory to the Most High. We're just vessels for his word and the revelation of truth in these last days as the increase of knowledge happens. I love each and every one of you. We'll be back on here tomorrow. Take care, you guys. Much love.